Attention, investors! Before you start ringing the alarm bells over canceled freight ships out of China, take a breath. What's happening isn't chaos, it's calibration. And behind the headlines, there's a golden shift in motion. Now hold up, don't let that title fool you. Yeah, I said cancellations of Chinese freight ships and plummeting bookings, but this isn't a doom and gloom story. The global freight game? It's not collapsing, it's transforming. Before we dive in, kindly take a second to hit the like button. It really helps to support and to grow my channel and keeps us bringing you the latest market insights. Thank you. We're witnessing a reset that could rewire the flow of goods, unlock new opportunities, and put power back into the hands of emerging players. Think Vietnam, Mexico, India, supply chains are diversifying, and so are the winners. So if you're only watching headlines, you're missing the freight train of opportunity rolling through. Buckle up, we're diving into the real story behind the trade war fallout, the dip in Chinese shipping, and why this could mark the beginning of a bullish new era for global trade. Here's what's actually going down. U.S. importers have started receiving alerts. Shipping lines are scaling back sailings from China. Why? Because carriers are adjusting to a sharp drop in demand, triggered by recent tariff hikes and rising geopolitical friction. This isn't random, it's a reaction. According to logistics firm HLS Group, 80 sailings from China have now been scratched off the calendar. That's not small potatoes. If each of those ships was hauling between 8,000 and 10,000 containers, you're looking at a pause on about 640,000 to 800,000 TEUs. That's 20-foot equivalent units. One of the major shipping alliances, one has hit the brakes on a route that was set to restart this May. That route would have covered key ports like Qingdao, Ningbo, Shanghai, Busan, Vancouver, and Tacoma. Now? On hold indefinitely. Another service is also dropping Wilmington, North Carolina from its itinerary. Yes, there'll be ripple effects, less volume at the ports, fewer trucks and trains hauling containers inland, lower terminal fees. But here's the investor insight. This isn't the end of trade, it's the rerouting of it. Think of it as a correction, a reset. Trade is shifting away from dependence on China and leaning into other rising markets. Diversification is acceleration. New trade lanes are opening. New winners are emerging. And for the savvy investor, this isn't a pullback, it's an entry point. Yes, the World Trade Organization just flagged a sharp downturn in the global trade outlook, triggered by the latest tariff developments out of Washington. But here's the truth. Markets don't crash, they pivot. And when they do, the smartest capital finds new lanes to flow into. Take a look at J.B. Hunt. Shares dipped to their lowest point since November 2020, after their earnings call hinted at tariff uncertainty rattling the freight sector. But that's not a red flag, it's a reset signal. A sector correction often paves the road for long-term upside when the dust settles. And let's talk shipping. According to Sea Intelligence CEO Alan Murphy, no model exists yet to precisely forecast the current dip in order volumes. But the real insight? The vast majority of containers on Asia-US routes still originate from China. So while we won't see the container count drop to zero, we are headed into a new wave of blank sailings, meaning fewer vessels at sea and a supply crunch that could tighten freight capacity down the line. Here's what matters for your portfolio. China made up 30% of all U.S. containerized imports as of the latest data, a drop from 37% in 2018. Within Asian trade, China's share of U.S. imports has dipped to 54%, down from 67% over the same time frame. That's not decline, that's diversification. The shift is on. Freight power is redistributing across Southeast Asia and beyond. And where trade flows, investment follows. This isn't about trade collapsing, it's about global supply chains rebalancing. And when balance shifts, it creates openings for new suppliers, new trade routes, and new market leaders. Let's talk about what's really happening behind those falling freight volumes and why smart investors should be sharpening their focus, not sounding alarms. Bruce Chan, a logistics strategist at Stifel, recently pointed out something critical. Current tariff policies have retailers spooked, but that fear is leading to strategic moves, not panic. After getting burned by the massive inventory buildup from the 2021-2022 post-COVID surge, businesses are now playing it smart. They're keeping inventories lean, watching demand closely, and being surgical with orders. And guess what? That caution is now showing up in the shipping lanes. Shipping traffic on the eastbound trans-Pacific routes, those core arteries between Asia and the U.S., is starting to thin out. In fact, blank sailings are picking up steam. Some analysts see signs pointing to a double-digit percentage drop in inbound container volume as early as next month. But here's the investor angle. This isn't about a demand collapse, it's about a realignment in flow. This is the kind of market tightening that can drive pricing power and open up fresh opportunities for regional exporters, shipping firms that adapt quickly, and even tech platforms optimizing global logistics. Looking at booking data from late March through early April, we're seeing a steep drop in freight demand across the board. Bookings tied to apparel and accessories as well as fabrics, wool, and textiles sank by more than 50% during that window. And it's not random. These are exactly the categories facing high tariff pressure. Products like clothing, furniture, toys, and sporting goods, many of which traditionally come out of China in containers, are now caught in the crosshairs. Retailers are shifting sourcing, and where they shift is where you want to be watching. This kind of disruption is fertile ground for investment. It's where new leaders emerge. Whether it's manufacturers in Vietnam, India, or LATAM, or logistics tech that helps reroute global supply chains on the fly, this is the recalibration moment you want to catch before the rebound. Here's something investors need to understand: less isn't always bad in shipping. Sometimes less is smart. And what we're seeing right now from ocean carriers isn't a retreat, it's a recalibration. As container volumes ease off, carriers aren't just canceling a few sailings, they're reworking entire route systems, often called vessel strings. These are pre-scheduled loops that move containers between key ports, like the suspended service connecting China to Vancouver and Tacoma. These strings take months to coordinate, so adjusting them isn't a knee-jerk move, it's a strategic reset. Fewer vessels on the water also means leaner capacity, which naturally lifts freight rates as supply tightens. For investors, that's the beginning of a pricing power story. Remember, these ships need to sail at or near capacity to deliver ROI. Running large vessels half full just doesn't cut it. So carriers are shifting gears, stretching schedules, skipping ports, and sometimes even pulling out entire vessel loops to better match volume to capacity. And here's the stat that matters. 99% of these services operate weekly, and it takes roughly 7 weeks for a full round trip. That means even modest scheduling changes can ripple across global supply chains and give carriers leverage. If you're enjoying and finding this helpful, please take a moment to like this video and share it with your friends. Your support helps my channel grow and allows me to bring you even more valuable news. Back during the COVID disruption, many shipping lines took vessels offline for maintenance. Now, they've got more tools at their disposal. They can skip sailings, shrink fleets with smaller ships, or implement slow steaming, a tactic where vessels cruise at reduced speeds to burn less fuel, conserve cost, and adjust arrival timing. This isn't disarray. It's deliberate capacity control. And when demand bounces back, as it always does, the players who held the line, managed supply, and optimized their routes will be the first to benefit. According to shipping analysts, cutting vessel capacity isn't just about reacting to softer demand, it's about positioning. When there are fewer ships in play, the remaining ones run fuller, leaner, and more profitably. And while pricing outcomes in the freight sector are still evolving, one thing is clear: capacity discipline can shift the entire rate environment. Let's not forget what happened during the COVID boom when shippers faced a tidal wave of blank sailings. It didn't crash rates, it skyrocketed them. Spot rates surged to nearly $30,000 per container at the peak. Why? Because capacity disappeared faster than demand. And while today's scenario is different, more strategic than panicked, the principle remains. When space gets tight, prices can pop. Now here's where the real shift is taking place: Vietnam. As China feels the pressure from trade tensions and shifting sourcing strategies, Vietnam is stepping up fast. One key freight rate index tracked a sharp upward move in early April, signaling a rising demand curve out of Vietnam. This isn't just about a change in shipping lanes, it's a shift in global supply chain gravity. For investors watching the freight, logistics, or emerging market space, this is a high-conviction signal. Tariff policy might trigger short-term volatility, but it's also driving long-term diversification. And when one door closes in China, 3 more open in Southeast Asia. If you're watching freight flows for investment clues, look closely at Vietnam. The numbers just lit up. Since March 30th, shipping rates on key routes out of Vietnam, especially for larger-scale shippers, have surged by 43%. That's not noise. That's momentum. These aren't premium last-minute rates either. We're talking about the mid-low range of the market, where the big volume deals are made. This data comes from Zenata, which tracks freight pricing trends by slicing the market into percentiles. The mid-low and mid-high brackets reflect the 25th and 75th percentile values for any given trade lane. And when the bottom end of the market starts rising sharply, it means the pressure is on across the board. Peter Sand, chief analyst at Zenata, summed it up well. This isn't a blip. It's a clear sign of accelerating demand. And part of that comes from a strategic tariff reset. After the U.S. paused so-called reciprocal tariffs on countries outside of China for a 90-day window, companies didn't wait. They rushed to move goods. Both large and small shippers began front-loading inventory to get ahead of potential cost increases later on. This surge isn't just about rate hikes, it's about volume, velocity, and positioning. Investors should read this for what it is. Confirmation that Vietnam is not only gaining share from China, but it's doing so at scale and speed. Drop a graph here. If you're tracking trade flows to spot the next freight boom, Vietnam just sent a signal you can't ignore. Shipping spot rates from Ho Chi Minh City to Los Angeles spiked 24% heading into April. Clear proof that U.S. importers are leaning in, fast-tracking goods from Southeast Asia's rising star. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The cost gap per 40-foot container, also known as an FEU between Shanghai and Ho Chi Minh City, on routes to the West Coast powerhouses of Los Angeles and Long Beach, is narrowing. That's a strong indicator that Vietnam is not just an alternative to China. It's becoming a competitive first choice for many U.S. shippers. According to 2025 data compiled by Zenata, this shift in pricing dynamics reflects a realignment of supply chains, not just a short-term pivot. Yes, freight costs are climbing, but importers are still moving forward. Why? Because the trade landscape remains unpredictable. As Peter Sand of Zenata puts it, there's every chance that higher tariffs could hit within 90 days or even sooner. That kind of policy uncertainty is exactly why shippers are pulling the trigger now, and it's exactly why investors should be watching. Companies that are agile in rerouting supply chains, expanding sourcing beyond China, or operating in freight and port infrastructure across Southeast Asia are well positioned to win. So, what's the big takeaway? While headlines might scream trade war tension and canceled sailings, savvy investors know the truth. This isn't the end of the game. It's a strategic pivot, and it's opening up a world of opportunity. From Vietnam's rising export power to ocean carriers tightening capacity and gaining pricing strength, this isn't a slowdown, it's a shakeup. And in every shakeup, there are winners. The smart money isn't panicking, it's positioning. This is the time to watch freight rates, track shifts in supply chains, and look at the companies quietly building the backbone of tomorrow's global trade. And if you're finding value in content like this, don't just watch from the sidelines. Smash that like button, share this video with your friends, drop a comment with your thoughts on the freight shift, and most importantly, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The global economy is moving fast, and we're going to be right here helping you stay ahead of it. Thanks for watching, and remember, in times of disruption come the biggest opportunities. We'll see you in the next one. Stay bullish.